You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Beers talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Batter Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. Free 99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Heroes are back. Welcome everybody to episode number 314 of the Better Heroes podcast. I am your host, Dan Yuganata, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
I just want everybody to know, if you would have bet 3-1 today and put the house on it, like I said, you'd have two houses. I got notes.
Did you bet?
I didn't bet the score line. No.
Okay.
I was this close, so I don't have a house.
All right. Well, Suarez did score. We said he needed that, and then hopefully that kind of gets him rolling this year. But Inter Miami has officially advanced in the Champions Cup. We did the same thing last year. We advanced also. We beat Nashville. We move on, and we're playing against Cavalier, the team in Jamaica. So that should be an interesting away day. And I think it's next week, right? They're playing already next week.
Yes, it's going to be next week, and we're gonna have to cook for that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun and interesting. I don't know if we're going to be able to find a podcaster to help us preview the game next week, but
yes,
definitely awesome and looking forward to that. And I mean, that's what you want, right? You wanted to move on in the Champions Cup because that is the number one goal, in my opinion. I think that you agree. So,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But so, I general thoughts on the game, Chris.
Listen, it was nice. I saw that you posted on our Discord that it wasn't a fantastic half, but it was a fantastic end to the first half.
Yeah, the first half I didn't think was beautiful. I saw some people in the Discord saying, actually, I think it was Solana said, beautiful first half. I didn't think it was beautiful. I thought the first half looked kind of sloppy, honestly.
Really?
Wow. But the few opportunities that we had, we finished. So, I mean, that right there is beautiful. But no, I didn't think it was a beautiful first half of football.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought that they played well. It's funny because I didn't see anybody that stood out in a negative way. Listen, I can't wait to talk about the lineup because the fact that we had some players that got on that we've been wanting to see get on. I mean, a lot of people were excited for the starting lineup.
And I, when I first got here, I looked at the chat. I saw some people writing about how Messi had discomfort or something like that.
Yes.
I didn't notice it while watching on TV. I don't know if you saw that, Chris.
Well, he went back to the locker room after he got subbed off. He went back into the locker room. Now, as you could see, he walked off or ran off, jogged off. But at the same time, he didn't look injured. But then if he's going to a locker room, that's no bueno.
I mean, that's worrisome, and that is the fear in the fact that, and that is the fear in having these players play. They played 3 games in literally 7 days, and in those 3 games, Messi played 90 last week in negative how much degrees. Then he played. It was extra 11, extra 8. That's 19. He played 110 minutes almost on Saturday against NYCFC, and then he ran out there for almost 70 today. So, I mean, I get it. He's the GOAT. I get it that he doesn't necessarily run nonstop for 90 minutes. But at some point, we got to make sure we're protecting the GOAT from himself. And I get it, right? Everybody says, he does what he wants, and if he wants to play, he plays. I get it, man. But this is a long season. And I much rather him sit out, if he's going to sit out a game, a regular season game, and make sure that he's playing in these Champions Cup games.
Well, Tom Bogert's mustache, shout out to Tom Bogert's mustache making an appearance, said he'll be all right. And then Quasar says you can see massage leg on 64 minutes and 30 seconds.
You can see him massaging his leg?
I guess I don't know if he meant he's massaging it. Someone was massaging it,
What minute was
but
that? He had 64 what?
64-30. So
Okay.
at 64-30, and while you look that up, Luis
Okay.
Garcia saying, "Can't wait to hear Chris hate on Falcon." I never said that
Oh,
Falcon
wait, it
was going to
wasn't
be
on
a
Apple
bad player.
TV.
Yeah, it wasn't. You have to go
So
back to that YouTube stream or whatever.
I didn't watch it on YouTube. See, this is the
I
beauty
never.
of Apple TV. I could do things like that. Now I can't.
Yeah, now it's gone forever in the stratosphere. I'm not going to hate on Falcon. I've been wanting to see Falcon. I just didn't think that this would be a good appearance for a game that's already within the tournament. I thought regular season would have been good for him, but listen, he shut me up. He played well. I didn't think he wasn't going to play bad.
I mean, I wanted to see him today. I just wanted to make sure it was him again and
Yeah.
Aviles. The last thing I wanted was him and Lujan, because then you really have
yeah.
players that have no chemistry with each other and have barely played. But if he was with Aviles, I felt comfortable with it.
Absolutely.
So
Yes. Yeah, I mean, to me, in reality, the way that it works is, I think honestly, the fact that look, and a lot of people are saying he's going to have to skip Houston, Messi. I think him skipping Houston is probably important. So that's what I think. Now, Danny, I do want to go over the starting 11 because the starting 11 to me was pretty critical. It was something that a lot of us, like I said, a lot of people were clamoring for. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the starting 11 that we have here. And for those of you that are on audio, I'm going to go ahead and just line them up. You got Ustadi in between the pipes. You got the back four with Alba left back, Frey right back, and then Falcon making his premiere. Aviles next to him because he's not playing against Houston. You got Busquets and Redondo playing the pivot. Messi sort of like a cam. And then Segovia and Allende playing sort of a left wing, right wing, respectively. And then Suarez up top. Now, looking at this lineup, yeah, go ahead, Danny. Well, looking at this lineup, with me, I probably would have preferred nothing else. I mean, this lineup was essentially perfect. I actually asked the question, do you think that people are looking at this and saying, that's it, we got it. This is it. This is going to be our lineup, right? Because you have the back four, which is Falcon, is somebody that we've been wanting to start. Aviles, who's consistently been the center back. And then you got Busquets and Redondo, who are playing the pivot. Obviously, there's a debate between Bright and Redondo, but at this point, I just, Redondo played fairly well. So I like this starting lineup. This starting lineup to me stood out. They played very well. What do you think, Danny?
Well, first of all, I put up this graphic and accidentally left Wagon on there instead of Frey.
Yes,
So
I saw that.
Yeah, so that I was happy to see. This is the lineup that I predicted would be out there. This is the lineup that I wanted, and I think this is the best 11. And so I think that if any game, a final, whatever it is, if we're gonna put out our best 11, I think this right here is your best 11. Maybe in the chat they'll disagree, but I think this is the best 11 that this team has, and I'm good rocking with this every Champions Cup and here on out. So
yes,
I was really happy when I saw this.
No, this starting lineup to me is it. I think that this is it. I don't see a Fafa taking place for anybody like Segovia and Allende. Same thing with Robert Taylor. I don't see Ruiz or Kamaski breaking into the midfield. I mean, the only other competition I could see here is maybe between, with Falcon and Aviles, maybe David Martinez at some point, maybe.
Or Noah Allen.
Noah Allen. Yeah, probably Noah Allen above Martinez. But aside from that.
And Bright and Redondo.
Well, Bright and Redondo, but he's not we're not getting any updates about injuries. All of that is kept in hidden. It's worse than the Da Vinci Code at this point. Yeah, Raf is saying no Drake in that 11. Listen, and I have a question later on when it comes to goalies. But I don't know, man. And Tommy saying bad game by Frey. I don't think this was a bad game by Frey.
Oh, no. As soon as the game started, he bodied Eric Tommy off the ball. Ian Frey defending, he is a great right back. Defending.
Yeah.
And then also in the attack, he contributes a lot. Now, a lot of people are saying, he keeps giving away the ball. I mean, how old is he? Is Ian Frey now? I mean,
He's like 19.
No, he has to be more. He has probably at least 21. But he's a young guy. He also contributes a lot in the attack. Yeah, he
Yes.
was giving the ball away, but honestly, in that first half, who wasn't giving the ball away? I'm sorry, that first half to me was sloppy. I understand that we ended up scoring 3 goals and everybody was really happy at halftime. But if we don't end up, because they gave 4 extra minutes, right? After the 45th minute, and we scored 2 goals in those extra 4. If the 45-minute ends right there, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that not everybody's thrilled with the first half. Because up until the 40-something minute, we had 1 shot on goal, and it was the Messi goal. Like, we didn't look great in that first half. I don't think we did.
Well, and look, Thomas is saying Frey gave the ball up too easy, but that's what you get when you have a right back that actually wants to push the pace and not just settle back and play defense. I mean, that's the risk that you take when you push the pace up and you handle the ball, right? I mean, he's not a ball handler, like he's not a midfielder, but for the most part, he pushed the pace on a lot of plays.
Look, out of all the right backs that we have, and Gravy said Frey's actually 22. Out of all the right backs we have, from what I've seen, I think he's the best defender. He's also the best with the ball at his feet. Like, I know you're saying that he gives the ball away, but Chelo, we haven't seen Lujan very much. But Chelo, as much as I defend him because I think he's better than people give him credit for, it's negative passes. Like, he will never try to take out a defender or try to progress the ball forward if there's defenders around him. Chelo is quickly passing it to Toto Aviles or passing it to Ustari. The thing with Frey is that he doesn't do that. He tries to be aggressive. So, yeah, he gives the ball away for a right back, but Chelo doesn't because he doesn't attempt those type of plays. Lujan, again, we haven't seen him at at right back. And today when he came in, I thought there was a chance that they moved Frey to center back and put Lujan at right back. No, they kept Frey at right back and they put Lujan at center back.
Beautiful.
Frey is the right back, whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, just try to take a step back and think about this objectively. The options are way gone, which a lot of people don't like, but Frey is more aggressive in the attack and he's better defensively. I'm sorry, he is.
Yeah.
And then Lujan is the other option, but you haven't seen Lujan much at right back for you to be saying that that's who should be playing right back.
Yeah,
you're saying it just because you want to see somebody else, but you haven't seen it that much. Come on. Like, I think Frey's great at what he's been doing.
Malcolm is saying Chris was criticizing Redondo for the same kind of performances like Frey. Clear bias is showing. There's no bias here. Redondo handles the ball more.
I like that.
A bias? So you're calling me out. You're calling me out for
absolutely because you poop on Redondo because of Bright. So you just start pooping on Redondo because he gives the ball away, and Ian Frey gave the ball away, and you're like, but it's okay.
No, okay, but the thing is, Redondo is supposed to be known. Of course, it's Ian Frey, Ian effing Frey. Fuck that. I mean, if I'm gonna wear it, I'm gonna wear it proudly.
Hey,
Ian Frey's not supposed to be a ball handler. I mean, Federico Redondo is. He's supposed to be making a lot more successful passes than Frey.
I understand what you're saying, and I think that what you're saying is valid. I just wanted to give you a hard time because I do think you have some bias against Redondo.
There's no bias. Bright is Bright's a little better than Redondo in my opinion.
So you and I, and it seems like the chat overall, we're happy with the starting 11.
Yes,
and I think that this, for me personally, I think this is the best 11. I think that this is what we're going to see moving forward in any big game. Hopefully on Sunday we don't see this because I think it's time to rest some legs before we play against an international team that we don't have very much familiarity with. And if they're Jamaican, they're fast. So good luck with that defending that counter attack.
We're going to talk about this a little bit later too, Scheme. This is something that I want to bring up as well about Noah Allen getting the ban. And we got to talk about Messi.
All right.
Because people are saying we should talk about Messi.
No, yeah, we are. We said that once we do the man of the match other than Messi, we will address Messi beforehand. All right. So we said about starting 11. If you want, you can start your recap, Chris.
Well, recap is basically, I feel like we played a little bit more organized, and I love the fact that Ustadi is just so comfortable with the ball. Like, you could really tell, like, his passing accuracy is just, it's got to be phenomenal. Like, I haven't looked at it.
Thuck, just so Thuck knows, I pinned your comment. We'll get to that at the end. so we don't get sidetracked. But that is an interesting question. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. Well, I saw our goalie just with the ball, no problems. And on top of that, there was good movement. There was good attack. I didn't see it as disorganized as you saw it. I mean, we can get straight to the Messi goal, which was a beauty.
Oh, but let's see. Because in the first half, how many shots do you think we had in the first half?
What, in the first half?
Mm-hmm.
2.
Well, we scored 3 times, Chris.
Or 3. Sorry. Yeah. 3. Sorry.
Well, we had 3 shots. That's it.
Yeah.
We weren't creating a lot. We just did the most when we had those opportunities.
Yeah. We had the same one as
KC had 7 shots. Our passes, we completed 86% of our passes. Isn't, I guess, the worst in the world, but I mean, you want to see more than 86%. Like, this wasn't a good first half, in my opinion. Now, maybe some people disagree. I thought that they looked a little sloppy. I thought that maybe as I was watching, I was like, maybe this is tired legs. I don't know. I mean, did we? Yeah. This is what I was telling what Mariela just said. I thought that we weren't completing a lot of passes. I thought we looked sloppy. We weren't completing a lot. We were giving the ball away. It wasn't just Ian Frey people. There were other people giving up the ball. Like, it was happening often.
I did see Luis Suarez give it up a couple times as well.
I will tell you one thing. I really like Allende.
Oh,
Allende. And if you want to go ahead and get into that first goal, Allende, Luis Suarez gets the ball down the left side, and Allende continues his run to the center of the box. And if you watch it, if you go back and you watch it, as he drifts into the center, I guess everybody's using the peripheral.
He saw Messi coming, and he ran right in.
Right, and then I guess the defenders with the peripheral, they see, and they're like, oh, maybe that's Messi. And you see the defenders go with him. You have 3 or 4 defenders go with Allende, and all of a sudden that leaves Messi open at the top of the box. I thought that was a beautiful run by Allende. The fact that he didn't just drift off to the right to give Messi space to work, or no, he came in and he took the defenders with him, opened up the space for Messi to receive that ball. By the way, beautiful job bringing that ball down with his chest. That volley, once it bounced off the ground, like it was a beauty.
A chef's kiss is what it was.
A chef's kiss. There you go.
And the thing is, if you see, because you could tell that Allende wanted that center pass coming into the center of the box. And then, like you said, he said, let me occupy this space, distract the defender, pull him in, so that way Messi can be able to have space to operate. That was a beautiful, beautiful play. And a very prime Messi play.
Oh, beautiful. Now, the thing is, up until then, we didn't have any clear opportunities, right? Yeah. We had the ball, we were connecting passes, but like it felt like we didn't have any clear opportunities. And then after that goal, I felt like KC all of a sudden just started
crumbled. They crumbled.
No, I didn't think they crumbled. I thought KC started getting in the attack. All of a sudden, they started creating chances. At the 30th minute, there was like a solid 5 minutes there where I felt like we just couldn't get the ball out of our half. And I was like, what is going on? I thought that they might score. I think they did score, but they called it offside, which, by the way,
yes,
I have to see a better replay because I didn't think it was offside.
It was a shoulder. It was a shoulder that was offside.
You can't score with your shoulder, so I don't see. Look, I did not think that was offside. I have to go back and look at the replay. Was it a shoulder, though?
Yes, it was a shoulder. He was like with a shoulder in past Ian Frey. I mean, it was close. It was very close.
If I was a KC fan, I'd be pretty upset. I did not think that was offside. Again, I was watching it. I was putting my kids to bed. Unfortunately, that moment for that game, I wasn't able to like really focus in. What I saw, I did not think it was his foot too. Okay,
it was offside.
Mr. Krabs says it was clearly. Mr. Krabs, clearly. I don't know. And yes, Porto G. Yes, you're right. You can't score with your shoulder. You're right. That's not considered.
I mean, everybody is saying it's a clear offsides
because everybody hears it's Miami fans.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, look, clear offsides, any body part.
No, you can't score with your hands.
All I'm saying
is talking about being offside. Oh, talking about you.
Yes,
I thought you meant about what Mr. Krabs said or Porter said.
All I'm saying is that if it is offsides, regardless if it's a hair, if it's a shoulder, the law of the letter of the law is any body part that's offsides, that's past the final defender, no? So, I mean, look, people are saying it's clear. Watch highlight. You can watch. It was his foot outside. It was clear, but pretty close. And
I'm gonna
David
check
C
it
is
out.
here saying, "Hey, I'm not a Miami fan. It was clear offsides."
I gotta check it out to see if it was really clear.
So
I'm sure I could just like hashtag Sporting KC, and I'm sure that they're bitching about it.
Sure.
And somebody said not to be so negative. Am I being negative?
You are being pretty negative. Like you're poo-pooing all over the parade tonight.
Well,
Like, are
because
you
it shouldn't be
okay?
a parade. Just because I'm objective and I'm
Are
not here
you-
like, oh, Miami's the greatest thing in the world. First half was sloppy. They scored 3 times, but it was a sloppy first half. I'm sorry. Just because they scored 3 times doesn't mean that it wasn't a sloppy first half.
I mean, we conquered.
Well, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of having the players we have, is because you can not look great and all of a sudden just find the back of the net 2 or 3 times, and the other team's like, what the hell just happened? Like, they were not looking this good, and all of a sudden we're down 3-0.
All right, we got a super duper slam here, Danny. Okay, we got a super duper slam. Hector Flores. Great game, Inter Miami. This team with this lineup removes Redondo and start Bright / also Aviles bench for Lujan. Oof. Hector Flores bringing the pain tonight.
Lujan.
Hector
People
wants
really-
all the smoke tonight.
Hector, you're really sold on Lujan? Oh, man. I'm not saying he's bad, but come on, over Aviles? Did you
That's
think
tough.
Aviles had a poor game today?
No, I don't think he had a poor game. I think that he had a pretty
I thought
good game.
him and Falcon were blocking a few shots.
Listen, I tell you, Falcon was blocking more than a few shots. Falcon was a beast. Falcon was a nightmare. He is, I mean, other than, I guess, the deflection that caused Sporting KC to have the goal, which wasn't his fault. He's defending.
Right.
But I guess if you want to call that the blemish, other than that, to me, Falcon played a perfect game today. Perfect. So
I'm gonna believe everybody that it was an obvious offside just because I can't seem to find the picture. So I'm gonna assume that means that it was obvious, because otherwise I'm sure it would be all over the place.
Well, I mean, it was pretty obvious. He was ahead of the defender.
I don't know. I mean, I know my phone isn't the biggest, so I was watching it off my phone.
Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't close to me, I guess, because I was putting my son to bed. But from what I saw on my phone, it didn't look like it. But I guess everybody seems to be in agreement. So I'll concede to you guys. Okay, so it was offside and it was obvious.
So let's keep it moving, Danny.
Go for
Messi scores, volley off the chest, beautiful goal. Sporting KC tries to make their push. We finally have awesome defenders that are starting to take over. Luca says Aviles can pass back. This is all. And let me tell you something. In a way, you're right, Luca.
Yes, but what happens when we have defenders that don't just pass back and they try to be aggressive and turn the ball over? Then they want them benched, a la Ian Frey. So what are you looking for? They're defenders. Yeah. I'd rather him, if he doesn't think he can make the pass, just play it safe and play it back, because Toto Aviles was giving the ball up a lot last year, and we were criticizing him a lot for not being able to play out of the back.
Danny, I officially want to say with this super slam that Hector's looking for all the smoke. Bang! 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 This is a smoke bomb by Hector Flores. Aviles is an amateur. He got a red card last week. He's a liability. And yes, Falcon was the best defender today.
I didn't think he was a liability today. And he did get a red card. Last week, he also had a pretty good game. He scored on Saturday. I mean, yeah, he had that red card. And that's his downfall. Those blunders that he just randomly has. He'll play 98% of the game perfect, and then you have that big blunder. And I get it. If he continues to do this for another month, right, another 3 or 4 games where he makes crucial mistakes, then I get it. Like, okay, you know what?
Yeah,
you're gonna have to mature somewhere else, because you can't keep costing us. But as of right now, I'm okay sticking Aviles out there. I think the Aviles Falcon pairing is exactly what we needed, and I'm happy with it. I like those two out there together.
I do like those as our starters. I'm very, very comfortable with that. But let's get to the scoring side of things, because we scored again at the 45th plus 1 minute, right? And that goal was by Tadeo Allende. Nobody was happier than I was because I told you I was going to make a bet, and I made a bet. Inter Miami wins, and Tadeo Allende scores a goal. Other people also made a bet. They posted their bet on Discord. We don't condone betting and spending your money, but again, we do know that people bet, and I did. And Tadeo Allende scored a very beautiful goal.
The Tadeo Allende goal was the one where he continued to make that.
Yes.
Good.
It was a run that he made on the side. It was a pass, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, by Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba was the one that made the pass over to him. And that's the thing I love about Allende is that he doesn't quit. You could tell that he doesn't quit on the ball. He runs and he makes that run, and he gets to the end of the far post and puts it back in the back of the net. Like, Allende is the right wing that we all needed.
Absolutely.
And he just bodies everybody.
Yeah. No, I thought Allende had a great game because he was doing all the little things. Even like I said, just making those important runs. I thought that Allende had a great game.
Yeah, that was Tony Axe is saying that was a striker's goal. Jack Card saying Messi to Alba to Allende goal. And yeah, that was a beautiful long pass by Messi where Alba sort of fielded it and then just low crossed it in towards Allende, which was really good. So, and Mariela is saying Taylor is a lot better than they allow him to be if they allowed him to play more on the field with Messi, who will become so much better of a player than he is right now. I mean, look, I agree too. He doesn't get enough time, but these guys, Allende and Segovia, they're here to take these positions over. And with the way that they're playing, they're not going to be giving them up very easily, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately, they're not.
Right. Now, like you said, we had a sort of a great ending to the first half because 2 minutes later, and 2 minutes later, Luis Suarez, El Pistolero, ends up getting another goal. Yes, I mean, guys, if you got to get that shirt, okay? Uruguayo makes a great goal, and it was a little fancy sort of kick that he had there.
Well, I mean, it was nice. It was beautifully. That's how he showed his class in being that 9, right? Because he allowed the ball to bounce in front of him, and he just bodied the guy away from the ball. He kind of just kept his body off, let the ball bounce in front of him, and then just kind of just kicked it to the far post. It was beautiful. That's what you want from your 9. He made that whole play without even touching the ball. Like, it was just beautifully done by Luis Suarez, and that's why he will continue to score goals no matter how big his gut gets.
I mean, Soccer Daddy's asking right here, is Suarez starting to cook? Yes. He took time to score.
I mean, he had an assist and he had a goal today, right? 2 goal contributions. Last year, it took him till the 3rd game to finally get to get a goal. That's what it took. 3 games, right? Because we started against RSL, he had a horrible game. The Galaxy game was even worse, and then we played against Orlando that 3rd game, and then he started cooking. I think he had a brace that game, maybe.
I believe so.
So today, no brace, but 2 goal contributions. I mean, look out. Suarez just might start balling soon. So I was happy with Suarez today.
That play that you described, Danny, that's kind of what we all wanted from Campana last season. I don't want to harp too much on Campana, but that's the thing that we all wanted in a player like Campana, and we never got it. And Suarez, like you said, he's showing his class. He puts his body and he boxes people out very well, finds positioning when he's on the pitch.
All right. So halftime, what were you thinking?
Oh, it was done. It was done. I mean, at that point, there's no way they make a comeback. 4 goals. No, 4 goals.
Yeah, at that point, it's 4 goals on aggregate. You kind of felt like it was over.
Completely.
Yeah. I just thought it was over. What I was thinking at halftime was Inter Miami can have, again, my thoughts. What I thought was a sloppy first half and still end the half 3-0, this team is destined for greatness this year. Because what I thought was a sloppy half, and they still ended it up with up 3-0. To me, that's wild. That's absolutely wild, and it shows that they're cooking.
Well, it's like what you and a lot of people are saying in the chat, where some people did find it that it was a little sloppy. And if this is our sloppiest game, I'd be scared if I was the opposing team.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
No, so basically, I mean, we're done with the half. Like at that point, you and I are thinking the same thing. We're done. We're about to win. And at this point, we're looking great, even when we're not looking great. We end up making a substitution. Noah Allen comes in for Tomas Aviles. And then SKC makes a boatload of substitutions. 5 minutes after that boatload of substitutions, Memo Rodriguez ends up blasting a kick right past Oscar Ustadi, which brings me to my.
But it wasn't past Ustadi. It was deflected. He was nowhere near the ball because it got deflected by Falcon.
Now, the question I wanted to raise goalkeeper wise is, do people think that Calendar would have stopped that? Because I don't think so, because obviously nobody would have stopped that. Yeah, it was a deflection.
Yeah. No, nobody was going to stop that. No, Ustadi had himself a really good game.
That was a deflection. And then we had Messi, who essentially got subbed out 6 minutes later at the 69th minute. Ben Krem comes in for him. And then 10 minutes later.
How weird was it seeing Ben Krem's forehead?
Yeah, because he usually wears like a thing.
Because his hair is usually over his face.
Yeah.
He was wearing like I don't know what it was, a scrunchie or something. Like he had his hair picked up.
Maybe one of those like little
headband.
Yeah.
It was really weird seeing his forehead. I don't know. That's just a random thought. I just thought it was weird to see his forehead.
Yeah, because he pulled his hair back. He has gray hair, by the way. Gray hair. But other than that, Danny, I mean, we get some more substitutions at the 80th minute. You have Lujan going in for Falcon. You have David Ruiz going in for Busquets. You have Robert Taylor going in for Luis Suarez. So they bring on some younger players, some more fresh players. And we end up ending the game. And V Vega says Crema's forehead was underwhelming.
You just expected so much more to be under there? Okay. I can see that.
Listen, Mr. Krabs. Wait, hold on. Mr. Krabs saying Ben Krem greater hair than Chris. This kid's like 20, bro. Of course, he better have better hair than me. I'm about to hit my 40s, bro. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So,
and did you see Ben Krem getting upset about a foul that they called on him?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like,
No.
Yeah, he goes, ¿Dónde está la falta, burro?
Yes.
Called him a
Yes.
donkey.
I saw like, dude, these guys really insult the ref. Like,
yeah.
I saw and they zoomed in on Ian Frey's face and he's like cursing the ref out. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
These guys are worried about Messi just tapping somebody's neck. This guy is literally getting cursed out by 22 players.
Verbally assaulted. Yeah.
That's crazy. That doesn't make any sense to me. So we ended up. So do you feel like we played better in the second half then?
Yes.
Because I felt like in the second half we were better, but then towards the end it was just like a slop fest.
I think we were better just because KC wasn't sitting back as much. Because I felt like in the first half they were sitting back, trying to make sure that they could keep the game close. In the second half they weren't doing that as much. I think that made it easier for us to open up the game, but we didn't score in the second half. So
English meaning soccer daddy. I think Danny just said that he called the ref a donkey.
Yes, he said burro, which is donkey.
Called him a donkey right in his face.
Yeah, he said burro. I thought it was funny. He's like, where was the foul, you donkey? Is literally what Ben Krem said to the ref. Where was the foul, you donkey? I mean, what's another way to say donkey? I guess is it jackass?
Yeah, maybe. Okay, a jackass.
Okay, so I guess that's a better translation. So not donkey, jackass.
Now, Scott is saying nobody asked Mascherano about a possible injury to Messi, so I think it's not serious. I mean, who
Or
knows?
right people aren't asking the right questions, right? That's what everybody's gonna start saying now.
Maybe. And then all of a sudden, a couple days later, you might see somebody report
Mm.
that he's got like a torn ACL or something like
He's
that.
day
Who
to
knows?
day. He'll be back in a couple weeks.
Yeah, something like that. So burro means donkey in Spanish. Yes, Mr. Krabs. Burro means donkey in Spanish. So and Jay, Crema is not overrated, bro. This is wild. I don't even know if he's like
Well, what do
rated.
you? Okay, all right. Let's have that conversation. What do you
Okay.
consider overrated? Because I think he is somehow a team favorite. Full disclosure, batterfans.com. If you want to shop batterfans.com, go ahead. We appreciate the support if you do. Now, I will tell you that on batterfans.com, we've probably sold the most, like we have team player shirts. Ben Krem is one of our best selling shirts. Like, do you consider him overrated? Because everybody loves him. And I think it's because they see the potential.
Yeah.
But like the potential hasn't necessarily, he's not a consistent starter. Do you think he's overrated?
Well, I mean, you see the potential, and a lot of people like him because he's from Argentina. He's going to represent USMNT. He's a local kid. So he's got a lot of he's a little poppy, right? He's got poppy hair. He's got poppy looks.
Cremita.
So Ben Krem equals marketing. This is key here by Justin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that he is overrated because I don't think that he's like rated in a way where there's like a defined line for Benjamin Kremaki.
Outside of Messi, who gets promoted the most when it comes to commercials and ads and everything? Isn't it Kremaki?
No, it's probably Lucho. It's probably Suarez.
No, when have you seen him on any commercial?
I've seen him on other commercials. I've seen him on the MLS promotions.
No, you haven't. Oh,
on the
okay, fine. All right.
I mean, he's been on the MLS promotions.
No, I'm not disagreeing. Now, I think I've seen, and again, I'm not saying he's overrated, right? But I think that the fandom for him is, I think, why people take it as overrated, because people think that the fans are like him so much that everybody's like, oh, he's overrated because so many people like him. But I think there's a reason to like him: the potential, the fact that he is possibly a U.S. men's national team player, and the fact that he's a local kid. So I think that's why. But he does get promoted a lot. He's been in commercials. I think it was like an energy drink. Like Inter Miami, like he is, outside of Messi, in my opinion, the kid that gets, or the player that gets promoted the most.
But I think that there's a difference though, like promotability versus, like, I mean, Mariela's asking why Kremaski isn't a great player. I don't think anybody's saying.
But I think that's why I'm saying I think people confuse, like you said, marketability with being overrated. Just because they see him more than anybody else is the reason I think that people look at him as overrated. I don't think he's overrated. I don't think anybody comes out here and is like, oh, this kid is the future of the U.S. men's national team. But because I think he's so marketable and you probably see him promoted more than any other player, I think that's why some people might come out and say something like that. I don't think he's overrated. But I think that people look at his marketability and the fact that his face is in different places. And I think that's why people say that.
Mike V, I need you to fact check this for me. I don't believe you anymore. Coco Shaw made a Brightline commercial. There's no way.
Chris, why would you even believe that?
And look, Mr. Krabs is saying the word overrated lost its meaning these days. And then Judas follows up by saying facts, Krabs.
Yeah, I mean, that word does get thrown around a lot. Yeah, it gets thrown around a lot.
Well, but like I said, he's not really rated in any way. Like, look, Judas is asking now, Latte La overrated? I mean, at this point, like before the season started, people were saying overrated because of the high price of the player. But he just banged in 2 goals his first game.
He should have had a hat trick. He should have had a hat trick. It was a great block by, I forgot what the goalkeeper was, but he should have had a hat trick. And before we move on, just real quick, Chris and I will be doing Battered MLS Fans tonight. talking about the match day 1 games after this is over. So if you want to hear a little more MLS, we'll be talking about that in about 20 minutes. All right, Chris, go ahead.
The game against Cavalier, apparently there's legs to this. And the first leg, according to Jack Hart, is at Chase Stadium.
Interesting.
In reality, I kind of don't know if we should support this because I feel like they did their season ticket members dirty by not giving every single one tickets to this game tonight. So I don't think
that they needed to give everybody tickets. I don't think that that's necessary. I don't think that that's something that they had to do. I think giving everybody the discount was enough. The fact that they told us that they were going to give it to us and then gave us the okie doke, that was the problem. I don't think that they should give away free tickets. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You sell your tickets, that's fine. I think the fact that they told us that we were going to get them and then said, oh, forget it, we changed our minds, that's what I think sucked. I like playing the first leg at home. Because hypothetically, and this, hear me out. You tell me what you think, Chris.
Yeah.
You go and you get Messi and the Fantastic Four together. You get them in a room and you say, look, we're going to play this first leg at home. If we can get a cushion of 4 or 5 goals, you don't got to make the trip to Jamaica next week.
I think that's a sweet deal. That's a sweet deal. Absolutely.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't doubt that something like that could happen.
I'll tell you that at least they're comfortable knowing they don't have to deal with the snow and the cold and -4 degrees weather. Not in Jamaica, baby.
And maybe they want to go to Jamaica. Why wouldn't you want to go to Jamaica? I think it's kind of nice vacation. But I'm just saying hypothetically, because some people are like, oh, no way that he goes to Jamaica. Well, I mean, if they play the first leg in Miami, if he really doesn't want to go, which I can't see why he wouldn't, but if he doesn't, I mean, just take a big lead and just you're good.
I do think that he would go to Jamaica. He's never played in Jamaica. And look, there's a big soccer culture in Jamaica.
Absolutely.
So I do think it would be advantageous for his legacy, I guess, to go to Jamaica. And it is a nice island.
Look, I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to go.
Yeah.
But and could you imagine the mate that they can get there?
Let's get to the standouts, Danny.
All right.
So out of the starting 11, who do you think was your standout this game?
Allende.
Okay.
Allende all right. To me was the standout. I just his activity, the runs he's consistently making, he never gives up on a play. The ball could be all the way on the left side, but he's going to figure out a way to get himself open or to take defenders with him. I think Allende is exactly what we needed on that right side to free up that top of that box for Messi. To me, Allende, it was the standout today.
I'll tell you who it was for me, and it's exactly what everybody is saying. Standout is Falcon. Yeah. His first game and I wanna when we finish this, I don't know if you have it in front of you, but the blocks that he had and the defense that he played was spectacular. He was all over the place defensively. He didn't make many errors, I guess, on the offensive side with his passing. He didn't put himself in very sticky situations. He played very, very closely with the center with Toto. And he was able to stand out. I mean, look, he used his head to get the ball out of pressure.
Yes, it says here he had one-headed clearance. He intercepted 1 ball. Oh, 2 balls, I'm sorry. He had 1 block.
Okay.
Ian Frey had 3 blocks.
Oh, yeah, Ian Frey was a beast. He had 2 blocks in them. For those of you hating on Frey, there was a series of blocks that he had 2 blocks right in the middle by the goal that if it wasn't for him standing there and blocking those shots, those would have been in the back of the net.
Yeah. Ian Frey had himself a pretty good game also statistically.
Yeah.
All right.
Qué penas.
Qué pena.
So out of the starting 11, I would have to say, and people are saying Frey. I know, look, guys, in the chat, go ahead and put your qué penas. People are going to say Frey. I'm not going to say Frey. I'm going to say, and it's sad to say because I don't think anybody here should get a Que Pena award, but I'd have to go with Segovia. I'd have to go with Segovia because he didn't stand out, especially in the second half. He stood out a little bit more than in the first half.
You know what I noticed?
Don't do it.
What?
I thought you were going to attack me because of Segovia. Go ahead.
No. With this new formation that they're playing, right? When in the attack, the 4-2-3-1, where Messi's kind of central, he's coming back a lot to look for the ball. That goal that at the end they scored, I believe, or maybe it was the Suarez goal, but I remember it was Messi that dropped back and got the ball in the middle of the pitch, and then he got the ball up and he progressed it up, and he started to play from there. And the fact that Messi's doing that, I think, has kind of dwindled the amount of opportunities that Alba has to produce down the left side. And I think that because I feel like the attack is coming from the right side with Allende, Messi, Suarez out to the right side. To the left side, not as much. And I don't know if it's Alba's maybe not fit yet. I don't know if it's because Messi has been picking the ball up so much in the midfield that maybe they're not picking it up on the left side as much anymore. But I thought that was interesting, and I think Segovia is also getting lost in that. But yes, nobody gets the Que Pena. Okay. I see a lot of people saying that. Redondo led the team in interceptions. So, I mean, defensively, he was intercepting ball in the middle of the pitch. Yeah, I guess if you want to give a Que Pena, maybe Jordi Alba. Even though I know he had an assist.
All right.
But I think Jordi Alba hasn't looked like Jordi Alba yet this season.
Yeah. Well, Dennis Lopez is saying 2 lowest ratings, Segovia 6.6 and Ustadi 6.6. So I guess they would
another good one because Segovia didn't do much today.
Now, Danny, a perfect comment to move on to talk about Messi before we get to MOTM, OTM. Lucas saying, did anybody watch Messi? How can you even say this shit things every 3 days?
I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, I don't know what that means. But I thought Messi has looked phenomenal for the first 3 games of the year. He saved us the first 2 games. And he had obviously the goal of the night with that volley. So he brought that down. And he has been the integral part of this midfield because he's been dropping back to pick the ball up and start the plays going forward. So he didn't get hurt. And I don't know if he's hurt. I hope not. But I do think that he's been the catalyst for us this season so far.
Guys, we're going to start talking about Messi. So like the video a little bit. Okay. Messi played as good as you can anticipate. He was able to make a lot of plays. He created a lot for the team. That was a throwback Messi that you saw with that volley. And actually, Luis Garcia.
Messi's been playing like old Messi the first 3 games. That game he played against KC, although it was a sloppy game overall, like he was the one that was creating, and that goal he had was as nice as the one that he had today. And that was in like negative 55-degree weather. And then the passes that he had on Sunday against NYCFC, or Saturday, I'm sorry, especially that through ball to Segovia. I mean, Messi has been Messi over the first 3 games of the season.
Danny, you need to sit up straight when you talk about Messi. You leaning over like that looks like you're uninterested in talking about Messi. Okay? You need to stand at erection talking about Messi. Okay?
Stand what?
Stand at erection. Messi played phenomenal, man. I mean, he is the man of the match overall every single game. He is the reason that we have full success on this team.
Well, no, yeah. Well, I think but to start this season, I think even because I have a feeling that people are not going to think that I'm joking around when I say this. But I think that the first 3 games, he's been the catalyst for this team. Look, he's not just out floating around waiting for the ball to come to him. He's coming to look for the ball in the midfield. And I think that that's been a huge difference. And especially when Alba hasn't been pushing the ball up on the left side. And like, I don't know, it's just looked different this year. Last year, I felt like our game was always built up the left side. And then this year, it's looked different. And I kind of like it. I like that Messi is so much more involved in the ball, but now that he's always central.
A great comment by Mike V says Messi asks Rocco for his jersey.
Is that a great comment?
It is a great comment. Get out of here, Danny. So one thing I want to mention here is I want to get to the Italia 1 world, 1 goal moment of the match. Okay. Yeah. Portal G. We're talking about Messi because the next play I'm going to talk about is Messi. Moment of the match. 1 world, 1 goal. Italia 1 world goal. One world, 1 goal. Play of the match. I want to give it to Messi because there was a play where the ball came to him. He saw Jordi Alba hesitate and make the run towards the goal, and he popped up a perfect pass. Boom. And it just flew right over everybody, right in front of Alba, where he was able to try to get like a cross with his left foot. That was such a beautiful play that was super unexpected by me. I don't know if anybody in the chat understands what I'm talking about, but that play to me was beautiful. You didn't see it where he kind of just blooped it right over everybody. Jordi Alba made like a perfect run. I think it was in the second half, if I'm not mistaken, before he got subbed off. Perfect pass, super unexpected. Very great play.
And yes, Eric, and that's what I've been trying to say the last couple of minutes is that he's playing central. He's playing like a true 10. He's not hanging on the right wing anymore. They got him playing in the center of the pitch, and he's dropping back and picking the ball up from the center backs or from Busquets and Redondo and working the center of the pitch. And with Allende making those runs, Jordi Alba making the overlapping runs over Segovia as he cuts in. You got Suarez up there. Like I'm really enjoying watching Messi be at the center of the attack, which he always was. But now it's like it's his. Like the center of the pitch is his. Like come back, receive the ball, and do what you do. And I'm really enjoying what he's doing with that. And then moment of the match for me. I don't have a moment.
Well, go ahead and think about it. Let me. People are refreshing me from the moment. Portal G says, "Yeah, ball went super high," and Mariela says, "Yeah, I saw it with a Peluca messed it up." The Peluca was coming in on the far post off of the Alba pass. Peluca, whatever. So Facon comes in far post, misses the deflection, and it was right off of the Jordi Alba cross, which was received and started by Messi. So it was a rainbow pass.
My moment of the match was the Suarez goal. The way he set himself up for that goal without touching the ball.
Yeah.
Like I think that it goes. I think it's underrated the class that it takes to do that because you have a defender draped over you and you allow yourself to position yourself as you body them to bounce in front of you and land so that you can go ahead and kick it at an angle to the far post. I think that goal was underrated and the way he set himself up for that. To me, that was my moment of the match. I really enjoyed watching the class that it took for Suarez to do that.
And this was really cool. Barta mentioning, how about Noah Allen getting the captain's armband? I guess before we get to the man of the match, this to me was super cool. Local kid. He's been with the team forever. Came from the academy. Played on IMCF2. And for him to make the climb up and to play with these kind of players and be playing high minutes and high value minutes in games that matter, this is what it's all about. This right here shows that we as a team are not plastic, as people like to say that we are. So,
and it is confirmed we are playing our next match against Cavalier on next Thursday at
Oh
home.
my goodness, it's a disaster.
Thursday.
Next week is going to be a mess.
So it's going to be next Thursday, and then we play on Sunday against Charlotte, which is I think a 5 o'clock game, also at
Forgot
home.
about the Houston game this Sunday.
So if
Jamaica game
hypothetically,
Thursday.
but if hypothetically, right? What's today? Today's the 25th. Let's
Yep.
say hypothetically they skip the game in Houston, which I don't know if they will, but let's say hypothetically they skip
No
that
way.
game.
No
You
way.
get everybody that skips that Houston game now has 9 days to prepare for that next game. I don't think that's the worst idea in the world. They just played a buttload of games, including preseason. For some reason, on Valentine's Day, the starters ran out there for like 70 minutes anyway. Like, they've played a lot over the last couple of weeks. I would be okay with them. And it's not a home game. It's Houston. Like, I don't care if they show up for that or not. So go ahead. Sunday night soccer. So maybe they're going to push them to want to play because it's Sunday night soccer, right? It's something that they're really pushing as a league.
Yes.
But look, that's 9 days of rest before you play your next international game. I think that I would go that route. I would let them stay at home.
Dude, but there's no way they're going to change the Sunday game, Danny. There's no way.
They're not changing it. We're just not going to send Messi or Suarez or Alba or Busquets. Let the young guns play.
Yeah, okay, I could see that. Alba could play.
We could still probably win. Our team is good. We could still probably win. I'm just saying, what I want is a Champions Cup.
Yes.
Like, I'm not worried about these regular season games. I don't care about the Supporters Shield. Like, the MLS Cup the playoffs don't start until November. So let's focus in on Champions Cup. And right now, 9 days off before your next Champions Cup game, to me, sounds like a good idea. So that's the route that I would go.
So rest everybody, Houston, and then we get everybody ready for Cavalier. Yeah. Man of the match, Danny. Who is
other than Messi?
Man of the match other than Messi?
I'm going to give it to Allende. I think that he was a big a game changer in that attack. And I'm not talking about just today. I think the way that he's attacking that box, I think that he's become a game changer. And you could tell that Messi trusts him. He's constantly looking for him down that right side. I really enjoy watching him. I'm going to say Allende.
I'm also going to go with Allende. I've been tooting his horn all season since he's got here.
Pause.
No diddy. And he helped win me some money today. I bet him to score anytime goal, and he scored an anytime goal.
A lot of people saying Suarez, goal and assist. Okay, that's fair also.
Okay, that is very fair. And look at the turnaround on the opinion of Suarez. Just a week ago, you guys were being.
Well, I was about to say, is it a turnaround or is it the Suarez haters are no longer saying anything?
So they're in hiding right now, or their opinions are in hiding.
Right.
So, okay, I could see that.
All right, and then your final thoughts, Chris.
It was a fun game. We knew we were going to walk away with a win. We knew we were going to be playing against Cavalier. So it was a nice match to watch on a Tuesday night, and look forward to seeing a lot of rotation this Sunday, guys.
I hope so. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I think that would be best. Yeah. Look, I want to see Messi out there as much as possible while he's wearing an Inter Miami kit, but I want to prioritize this Champions Cup, and I want to make sure that we make it to the final and win it all. So give me those 9 days of rest for him, and let's move on.
I didn't bet 3-1 Solana. I should have, like I said, and like I told everybody, if everybody would have put the house on 3-1, everybody here would have had 2 houses.
And Vivega, no, we are going to do another show at 10 o'clock. Sorry, 11 o'clock. Damn. Right now, we're going to start another show, but it's an MLS show where we cover all of match day 1. We'll be talking a little bit about the Inter Miami NYCFC game, and then all the other 14 games, and just the opening week in general. So if you have nothing else to do and you want to hear about a little more MLS, jump on with us. We'll be on in a couple minutes.
And Mr. Krause mentioned this earlier, that he saw me on the Football Miami TV vlog of last game meeting Uncle Ed. Super cool guy. Ran into Estebandito, ran into Julio. Shout out to them. I mentioned it in the last podcast. Super cool. And thank you for the shout out, Italia.
All right. And that's it. We'll be back. I don't think we're coming back tomorrow, are we? No, we're going to come back on Thursday. We're going to come back on Thursday at 9 o'clock for our preview show of the Houston Dynamo game. So make sure that you join us on then at 9 o'clock for that. But tonight, if you want to keep talking a little MLS, we'll be on with the Battered MLS Fans at 11 o'clock. So make sure that you join us then. Battered MLS Fans is the YouTube channel, so make sure you join us. If you're listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like and subscribe. And as always, you guys in the chat, you guys are the best part of the show. We appreciate you hanging out with us for the last hour. And come join us in the next show. We're going to keep talking and having fun. So until the next one, have a good one.
Come on, guys.